Now, back in 2024, when the hype for Shadow Generations was still at its peak, on the Japanese website for the game, we were teased with a new playable character. Ever since then, everyone was speculating on who the new character would be. Some said it may be Classic Shadow, to go together with Classic Sonic. Others stated the possibility of Silver, since just like Shadow, he was a rival for Sonic to fight in Sonic Generations. There was also a portion of people suggesting it could be Rouge, since she is Shadow's main companion, and because of Emerald's appearance in Dark Beginnings, people thought it might have been a hint that he'll be playable in the game. But ever since the game got released in October 2024, we got nothing. No more mentions of a secret character, no Sega hinting at a new DLC, absolutely nothing. We could say that this was just a simple misunderstanding within Sega, and that there was never meant to be a fourth character, or that Sega originally had plans to add a new character, but ultimately decided to go against it. There's also a possibility that Sega is just keeping quiet about it, and are secretly working on a large update to the game that is soon to be announced. Which could make sense, since Shadow Generations was a huge success, and if Sega dropped a massive DLC, it would probably bring a lot of hype and potentially people would play the game more. If that is the case, I definitely see either Silver, Rouge or Emerald making it into the game. Classic Shadow would be cool, but since he does not exist in the canon, I'm not sure how it would work. But even though all of this has a high chance of happening, I think there's a deeper meaning behind this. What if this is not about a new character being added to Shadow Generations, but instead about a character that is next in line to getting their own new game? As many believe that Shadow Generations marked the beginning of other Sonic characters getting their own games. So I would not be surprised if Sega used Shadow Generations to indirectly advertise / hint towards a new game with a new playable character, without taking away the current focus on Shadow Generations itself. Now, with this hypothesis in place, let's talk about potential characters that are very likely to get their own game next. First, and probably the most obvious choice, would be Silver. Often considered Sega's underdog, Silver has been growing vastly in popularity, with a lot of the community asking for him. Now, Silver would be awesome, as this would complete the Mighty Hedgehog trio, where each of them would have their respective games. As well as, it would give Sega a chance to experiment with new and unique gameplay styles, that hopefully would not result in Sonic 06 Silver stages. Maybe, Silver's gameplay would utilize his flight and psychokinesis, where it would be fast-paced like Sonic, but it would require him to avoid and tackle different obstacles with his powers. I think that would be pretty meta, not gonna lie. Silver's story could also be set in Silver's timeline, where we'd get to explore his world more, and perhaps we'd meet some brand new characters who'd help Silver in his mission. Another choice that I believe would make a lot of sense, and one that I would be the most excited for, would be Knuckles. Much like Sonic and Shadow, Knuckles is an absolute fan favorite, but unfortunately, Knuckles has been given the short end of the stick by Sega. Oh no! Turning him from a completely awesome character, capable of punching Sonic out of his super form, to just a comic relief. Even though I think he was pretty cool in Sonic Frontiers, I believe more can be done to give him justice. His game could emphasize on him being the guardian of the Master Emerald more, but instead of searching for broken pieces of the Master Emerald, which was annoying as heck, we could have Knuckles actively trying to defend the Master Emerald, or going through stages to try and save it from a villain. And instead of fast-paced running stages, we'd get more intense battle stages, where we'd have to fight very tough opponents and get through rough obstacles using his gliding and climbing mechanics. Maybe we'd also get Super Knuckles, since it got sort of teased in Sonic Frontiers. Now, how awesome would that be? Blaze is another character who could have a shot at getting her own game, and while I don't see her being picked over Silver or Knuckles, I think the idea of a Blaze spin-off game would be amazing, as it would give us a chance to explore her dimension, getting a glimpse of how Blaze interacts with her world. I also think her gameplay could be really fun, as she's almost as fast as Sonic, so we'd probably get a lot of speedrunning stages, but we could also get a lot of fighting stages too, where we get to use her fire abilities, so her game would be like a mixture between speedrunning and combat gameplay. I can definitely see her using Soul Emeralds to go burning Blaze as well, which would be equivalent to Sonic going Super Sonic in his games. I would definitely love to see all of this in the future. Other honorable mentions that I believe could get their own game are Tails, Amy, and the Chaotix. But what do you think? Do you think that this secret character has something to do with Shadow Generations? Or do you also think that it may be a completely new character in a completely new game? I am personally looking forward to seeing if Sega does indeed do anything about it, and if we do actually get a new character in a new game. As for the video, thank you so much for watching. It was very fun to make, and if you watched to the end, you're a legend. You're an absolute legend. And if you really liked it, then please consider liking and subscribing, and stay tuned for more Sonic content. Have a good one!